Hi everyone, welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm Marianne. Welcome to your weekly general collective reading for the week of February 3rd through February 9th. I love being here, you know that, and I love that you would take the time. Thank you for those that have been supporting me and helping me build this channel. It means everything, and it is a simple like, subscribe, share the video, whatever you can do is once again very, very supportive, and I deeply and greatly appreciate you for that. On with the reading. This is going to be, as I said, a collective for all signs. But the difference is I do change the format of the layout, and I also change the deck. Now, I did finish all of the February readings for individual horoscope signs, and you might want to take a check at that and a look, and I hope you will. And everything that month, and still as we are in the month of February, the month of love is catered to the heart and our heart center, our heart chakra. So for those that are new, let me put on this other glove. Today's purple though. Today is more, I would say, more spiritual, and I have really good reasons for saying that. I break down some of the astrological aspects happening in real time right now that affect all of us, some more than others because of your placements and various things of that nature. But we all get affected, and I'm hoping you'll feel a resonance with this reading, of course. But if not, just know that, some weeks you may, some weeks you may not. I start with a chakra check. Spirit wants us to always be aware of our chakras and to ask, literally ask, like I do every day in the morning. It's one of my rituals prior to coming out and going into the world. We're asked to open them all up so it removes blocks or any kind of restrictions in those areas, so I can feel as whole and complete and balanced and, fortified and strong, and all the variable things that each chakra can bring to us, okay? Because everything is energy, and when it's stifled or things aren't, as strong as they can be, we're going to notice it, right? So this is just a reminder of that. And Spirit has been amazing with the readings in the sense that for February, there were repeats for the same chakra. And it was generally, I will tell you honestly, it was either the most chakra repeated messages were from the base chakra, which is our root chakra, the first chakra that's closest to the bottom of your spine, helping us to feel grounded and comfortable and present and strong. And then the other was the third eye, which is our intuitive, gifts we have. It's our ability to discern things without necessarily through words or something of that nature. You know what I'm speaking of. Just that, the ability to really sense and feel things, from another realm, I guess is the best way to describe that, right? I mean, there's many ways to say it, but I think you understand what I mean. This made perfect sense, of course, because my goodness, as I go down just a moment and go down to the aspects that are super important, I mentioned astrology-wise, we have had the change of the North and South node that happened in, the 11th or 12th of January, where the North node is now in Pisces and will be for 18 months. The South node is in Virgo. Complete, total oppositional energies. That's always the case when it comes to the eclipses that are, we just do it in order, if you will. And once again, it's like every 18 months. With a couple of exceptions. For example, we have the next series of eclipses happening in March, but it will also be the last eclipse in the sign of Aries, which was part of the last 18 months. But sometimes they'll just throw in that last one, or there'll be one. It's all perfectly done, but you can expect that on March 29th, the last, I believe it's full moon in Aries. Okay, so, and that's power. That's Mars. That's Mars rule. That's energy. And speaking of which, two really important aspects happening this month, thankfully, is that on the 4th, well, this is a part of it too, but On the 4th of February, we have Venus, the benevolent planet we all love. It represents love and joy and happiness and sensuality and passion and money and beautiful gifts, which, is very important, very much a part of this beautiful love month and Valentine's Day, of course, February. But it also, it goes into the sign of Aries. So it's been in the sign of Pisces. North Node in Pisces, Venus in Pisces for what? 2 more days. I'm actually filming this on the, what is today? The 2nd, Groundhog's Day. I don't know if the groundhog has seen a shadow. I have not found that out. Perhaps you can leave me a message or comment if you would. That would be great. But yeah, no, so Venus in Aries, my goodness, this is, well, for you Pisces out there, it's going to be your 2nd house. So there's a lot about finances and beautiful things coming through that way. Maybe a raise or a new job, or, you're just like you're investing or you've done something that's working out. If it hasn't been that great, it's going to definitely get better during that phase. Specifically for Aries and other fire elements, being as Aries is a fire element, any fire element other than Aries would notably feel that too. But then, all of us get to experience that. It all pertains to the 2nd house in the tropical astrology format, where the whole house is. Okay, so yes. So actually, I'm confusing you, and I apologize so much. It's specifically the 2nd house for you Pisces, because that's what I originally was starting to say. It's a very predominant time for Pisces with many planets in the sign of Pisces. And I, for one, absolutely love that. We all will notably feel certain things or traits in some way or another. And I'll name a few of them off as far as Pisces is concerned. It's definitely, Pisces is known as the most spiritual. It doesn't mean that other signs are not spiritual, but absolutely, hands down, Pisces has been, will be, and will continue to be known as one of the most spiritual, one of the most loving, compassionate, selfless, I would say very much sacrificing kind of energy and trait, that archetype. There's great creativity, there's great gifts of intuition and clairvoyance and just knowing and understanding, and well before other people necessarily do. They're a mutable sign. They're open to many different ways of seeing things. They're known as the chameleon. Forgive me, the chameleon, the amphibian that actually changes color. So in other words, you are adaptable so that you can be in pretty much anyone's company as a Pisces when you're a Pisces, or have those traits and understand what I'm saying, and you fit in really, really well. It just comes very natural. A lot of times I've heard that there's the interest for Pisces to be actors for that very reason. They get to take on this part, that mask, if you will. But yeah, beautiful energy as far as all of us, feeling more creative juices happening. That would be from the 2nd sacral chakra. And what else can I say? Yeah, just this openness of our heart chakra. And I'm curious to see if that's what's going to come up. Honestly, in the month of February, I don't think it came up. I mean, a lot of other references to the heart, of course, came up in the readings and so on and so forth. But no, it hadn't. But I'm just shaking this under here and shuffling under here. There's only 8 chakras in this particular deck that I have that refers to the chakras, and then I coincide with the crystal that's really great to use and to hold and to help you strengthen this particular chakra. It's good for many things, so I'll read to you what it says as far as 1 or 2 of the things that help if you choose to do that. And I use my beautiful necklace to infuse my readings by putting the appropriate crystal in that the chakra card has come up with. So let's see what it is. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Nope. It's the throat chakra though. Now that's an important one, absolutely. The throat is the closest to the heart. So basically, it's about opening the throat chakra to speak our truth, to speak from our hearts, definitely to feel confident, to feel, the clarity. I asked for that before any of my readings because I stumble over my words a lot. I am not somebody that does a lot of editing. I know it probably can be a little challenging for some people, but it is authentic, and I love being authentic whenever possible. And what I feel and what the messages when they come through, they come on out, okay? As best as they can. Sometimes, like I said, I had struggles, certainly during retrogrades, Mercury retrogrades, and we don't have to worry about that till March, but it's coming up. So let me read to you what it says. I'm really excited actually to see this. So this is once again having that confidence about what you say. It is the 5th chakra. 5 in numerology is about changes and, working through challenges and so forth. If you are having issues with your throat by any chance, if you've had a sore throat, if you've been ill, if you are a singer and maybe laryngitis and everything, those things can be worked through and cleared up is what I'm understanding in the month of February. I'm not a doctor though. This is strictly energy that I'm speaking to you of. The words behind this, though, say, the uniqueness of my voice is spirit made manifest, our way to communicate through our vocal cords, through our throat. I courageously speak my truth with balance and grace. As Lord Buddha said, neither jagged criticism nor flowery praise will keep me from my path. I liken that to sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. And I guess it's true. I find I can be sensitive. I'm sure a lot of people can be when people say things that are harsh or, criticism. But it's good to keep that strength knowing, no, that's not my truth. I hold my wisdom with humble elegance. I hold to my wisdom with humble elegance. So I haven't read this one in a while. I really love that for you, all of you. It pertains to all of you, and maybe you know exactly what I'm speaking of. But I'm going to now put in and read to you the actual crystal, as I mentioned, that goes along with the throat. And this is the lapis lazuli. And it says for the throat, it is truth, purpose, and voice. I speak my truth and release all fears around judgment. I'm all for it. I mean, this isn't political. It's nothing of that nature. It's just, I guess that's been said, there are more than one truths, right? But if you know your truth, and you follow and you live a life of truth and integrity, I just don't see it being anything but good, certainly karmically. So I'm going to put that out there, but that's just my own opinion. And I'm going to now put the appropriate crystal, which comes in this beautiful little gift bag that I got with the necklace. There are actually 2 necklaces, one in brown and one in black. And I'm not getting sponsored. I'm very fond of it. So I'm attributing it to every single one of my readings now, checking those chakras, and you might want to read into it a little more because it's wonderful. There's so much information about it. And once again, it has to do with our energy levels. So I'll put this amethyst back, and here's this beautiful lapis lazuli, and it's got like a circular, it's so pretty. Crystals are just gorgeous to look at, but they definitely have energy to them, and a lot of them can be so protective. This is for the throat, as I mentioned. It will help release, the fears around judgment. You can speak your truth better, and perhaps even heal things. I'm not for sure, but it never hurts to believe that, right? Because what we believe, we can definitely achieve a lot of times. So let me put this in here for you. And we'll get on with the reading. Now, today's reading is going to be different. I'm not going to do the Celtic Cross. I am using a different deck than I have been for the whole month of February. And I like the deck a lot. It's different than most decks that I would have normally picked out, but this is one of the few, I might add, that I bought. And when I received it, I thought, oh, the colors are different. They're not something that I would necessarily gravitate towards. And I'm very big on colors. Colors have great energy, and a lot of times you can feel better in certain colors than others. I know all of us can relate to that. But I love and appreciate so much the artistry and the illustrations in this. And moreover, the fact that what it is a deck that represents the unification of human beings and animals, and how we all are so interactive in this life and need to be. And I can't imagine being in a world without animals. And unfortunately, there seems to be a fewer and fewer in certain areas. And I just put out love and absolute belief that that can turn itself around as well. But the point here is this deck is called the Hush Tarot deck. And the other thing I noticed when I first got it was a little difficult to distinguish the swords from the wands. And it does come with a beautiful little illustrated book to explain everything. But it did not actually have the little symbols in there to decipher. And then they're right on top. So it worked out in the end, everybody. And so what I'm going to do is I will do a 6-card layout. One will be past, present, and future with a clarification card. Then I'm definitely going to incorporate a separate spiritual animal message for all of you for the week of, like I mentioned, February 3rd through the 9th. And then I'm going to pick a card for every single sign, okay? Just one that'll refer and kind of give you your own specific energy, okay? So that even though it's a collective for everybody, it's a little bit more individualized and a little more specific, okay? And I'll be using a different deck for that. I'll be using the Art Nouveau Tarot deck, which is fully different than this and bright and golden and such. Well, that's that brightness of certainly Venus being in Aries, but I'll mention a couple of really important other aspects coming up with the moons. I always mention the full and the new moons of the month. Sometimes we'll have 2 new moons, sometimes a full. We just had the beautiful new moon in Aquarius happening on the 29th of January. So we're still actually feeling the effects of that. And that's one of truth and forward motion and, using our minds to create thoughts and expression and writing and speaking and learning, like I said, and sharing that knowledge with others, working in groups, trying new things, out of the box kind of rebellious energy, which Aquarius is known to be. Pluto, the planet of the depths and the most critical planet, that can really sabotage ourselves or do just the opposite and give us the ability to recognize how strong every one of us are. And so that went into the sign of Aquarius. We're in this Aquarius season right now through the 18th, when it then goes into the Pisces season. And like I said, there's a huge amount of influence with the Pisces right now. And so on the 12th of February, we have the full moon happening in Leo. And that's next week, which I'll bring up for the collective reading. But it's going to be powerful. And I think it's going to be extremely positive in a lot of ways. We'll get back to that, as I said. But for now, just this week is going to be the changing. Oh, I knew I forgot something. The same day that Venus on the 4th goes into the sign of Aries, Jupiter, the benevolent planet, as well as Venus, the benevolent planet, is stationing direct for the first time since last September. It is in the sign of Gemini, which is an air sign. We've got Pluto in Aquarius, air sign. And this is absolutely great. This is a different placement once again in the houses, depending on what your sign, where you are on that tropical whole house sign where you start, whether you're the first house of this 12th, and then counting from there. But man, Gemini is all about expression too, and creativity, and ruled by Mercury, which is about wanting to really get the ball rolling and help people as far as training and teaching and once again speaking, or maybe deciding to write the book you want to write, and just really feeling this energy that has been retrograde. It's going forward now. So you might have had a specific idea or craft or book that you wanted to start doing, but everything just wasn't working in your favor as far as retrogrades. There was the Mercury retrograde in December, many to come as well, I might add. But that Jupiter going direct is going to be very, very notable. And it'll build up its, momentum, as all retrograde planets, when they first come and station direct. It takes time to build it up. but I think I'm already starting to feel it, to be honest, and I hope you are too. So let's get on with the reading, as I mentioned. And I hope everybody's doing well. It's raining where I am. We had about 3 weeks of sunny weather, though very cold. So the rain is great. You know, we need that. And I think it's bringing the snow in the mountains, which is necessary. I did shuffle these. I always ask that Spirit give me clear and concise messages for the highest good of everybody involved. And let's keep it going. Let's start. We've got the first card being the past, present, and future of this week or longer. There's no real time. I've never ever claimed to know that specifically, but sometimes the cards will repeat in certain numbers that I feel is an indication or a definite message. And then, like I said, I'll do this for now. I'll just keep it like so, and then this will be the clarification for each, all right? So, first card being the 7 of Cups. Well, I'll be darned. This means, first of all, the cups are the energy of water, which is Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And I didn't mention it because it's coming up with the readings when it happens. But at the end of February, we finally have Mars going direct. Wow. I mean, it's been retrograde in the sign of Cancer. It'll go direct in the sign of Cancer, and it'll stay in Cancer through, I believe it's April. It's been in a retrograde position, Mars, since the 6th of December, and it was in Leo originally, then went into retrograde into Cancer. A very long time. It's not normally this long. It happens every couple of years, just like we're going to start, well, the whole month of February actually will be the shadowy period of the next retrograde happening in Venus, which will be starts in, early March. So yeah, and that'll be through the early part of April. But you know, we won't go into detail about that other than to say there's shadows on each side, right? So that Mars going direct is really going to be great. I'm looking forward to it because I've noticed distinctively the energy levels had dropped quite a bit for me. And I go to sleep a little earlier because of it. I want to make sure that I have as much energy as possible for my work and for the things that I love. And, you know, coming to the table, having made an effort to, you know, hydrate and do all the things to keep me as well balanced as possible so that I can share information from a place that feels holistically well. So 7 of Cups, lots of opportunity, lots of possibilities, almost too much. Sometimes, and you know, not all the cups are going to be great for you. This is where this Piscean energy really makes a difference. And you really have to sit with your intuition. We all have, and it's always there. And remember, it can be a very quiet whisper kind of answer. It's not like bells and whistles sometimes, not at all. So taking the time to be still and, you know, allow yourself alone time for a minute or two even, when you're wanting to make a specific choice about something, because there will be choices to be made. And so I like that for you. 7 is a spiritual number, you know, it's a guidance number. You're definitely being guided. It's just that in the end, realistically, we are the ones who make the choices, you know, and sometimes we regret things, but there's never a need to regret. I do want to put this out there because there's always opportunities that will come throughout your life. You know that. They'll come back around at some point. And also, I don't know, it's really what your belief system is. Sometimes there are no mistakes and you were guided because it would have been a huge mistake to have made that choice. And sometimes you definitely find that out later, like, thank goodness. At the time, it seems not right, but no, this is, what do they say? You know, when the hesitation is when there's something that doesn't go your way, or you have to wait, or, you know, it's a blessing. We'll just simplify it. I'm not going to try to remember quotes and things at this point. So, this is great. This was something that was your recent past that maybe you're very familiar and you know exactly what I'm speaking about. And so, yeah, just don't feel like you have to rush, okay? I would say specifically, definitely, the full moon in Leo will definitely shine a light on some things for everybody. And you might want to pull the trigger at that point, because Leo is all about confidence and, hey, this is what's happening, right? I've made up my mind. This is my choice. And the sun will shine, and they're ruled by the sun, and they have this positivity, and so that can be great. Not everybody necessarily will agree with your choices, but that's not the issue here. What it is that you make that choice. And remember, less is more. You don't need to do all of these cups. Pick out the ones that you know will probably be beneficial for yourself, and only you will know that. Now, the present is the Five of Pentacles. And it's interesting because I've shuffled this deck a lot. I actually laid it out earlier because I was thinking I'd like to change my setup here. I mean, you see me without my face now. I always used to show my face, and now it's more about color and the gloves and seeing the reading versus any other distractions, if you will. But I like the idea of having you just see my hands, so I have to figure that out and work on it because I'm not great at technology, but I'm going to figure it out. So I was over on the other side and I was pulling it out. And this came out when I was, doing a practice run to see what you could see through the camera. And then I shuffled again, and here it is. Five of Pentacles it's halfway to the 10, first and foremost. So it's not the worst card, but what it is, unfortunately, is a lot of times a feeling that we're having where we're feeling left out, or we're feeling like we're missing out, or I guess they call it FOMO, fear of missing out type of feeling. Also, the Pentacles represent, the earth energy of Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo, and finances come into the picture because all of those signs are very, 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 very learned. They're very experienced in how to deal with money and how to let money work for them. They have incredible insight to that. It's just kind of a natural thing. Taurus is known as the money sign. I've known many, many earth signs and Tauruses, and they live very well. They plan it out. They have a structure. They can be very frugal in the sense that they know in time, in doing so and in being frugal like that, I'm going to be building quite the life for me because they've got that patience, and they see the big picture. And yeah, I for one have gotten great information from Tauruses who happen to be, CPAs and those type of people that are in jobs that they're great. So that's part of it too. It's something about your money feeling like, I'm not making enough and I never will. And this kind of almost definite self-sabotage talking. This generally comes from people in your life that have made you feel that way in some way, like you're not enough, or all that baloney. I'm one of those people too. I remember certain things being said when I was younger. They're still there. I don't get the emotional trigger from it anymore, but I remember it. And I don't believe it at all anymore. So it's allowing you to realize that if you're feeling that way, please just realize you are worth your weight in gold, and it's just a thought. And the best thing you can do is remove those thoughts whenever you're thinking of them as quickly as you can. Okay, because they will affect your energy, and they do affect the chakras, and they affect, just your perception of things. And a lot of that's going to change anyway because of this, once again, Piscean energy, where it's all about perception. So many things are things we had heard and learned and thought, oh, that's the only way. Well, that's not the case at all. So just a reminder, if you're understanding that, maybe you've been feeling under the weather, and when I don't feel well or 100%, oh my gosh, pity party. I wouldn't just tell anybody that, but because yeah, but it's only because, you're off balance, and it's just things like that happen. These thoughts start to creep in, and they're not good. And it's because you're not feeling 100%. Maybe you haven't, like I said, hydrated enough. Maybe you haven't moved enough that day to get the oxygen going. I always highly recommend that. Fresh air, getting outside if you can. Well, then we go into the future, and you've got the King of Pentacles. So, see, this is a very short-lived kind of energy. It generally is when it has to do with our thoughts and our feelings, because they're constantly changing, right? Throughout a day, I mean, you couldn't even count all the times things like that happen. But the King of Pentacles is the maturity there, and the once again, the Pentacles representing, earth energy and your tangible things and your health and your well-being and your family and all the sustenance. How are you getting your money to eat and so forth? What is your job? Are you working a job that's worthy of you and your time and all those things? Well, this has already fully been established. So this is a person that's going to help you in some way. This is yourself. King doesn't necessarily mean you're a female or a male. It's that masculine kind of like, I'm taking charge, I know my worth, and it's beautiful. And surrounding yourself with people that are like-minded as far as they have that belief, and when they work and they put out that effort, you will reap the benefits. You will see results you want to see. So I love that it comes right after the 5, and that's what you want to see anyway, right? Most of us would agree. They're like, yeah, this is really who I see myself being at some point in time. And you shall and you will. So I love it a lot. Let's just do a little clarification on that, because the first one, once again, is the many opportunities with the 7 of Cups, and you're emotionally kind of tuned in, and you're feeling pretty creative, and you're like, whoa, wow, I could do this or that, and da-da-da. And you have the 10 of Swords. Okay. Well, this is a new cycle. So, I mean, no wonder the card of options came out, because something's going to end. And now you're thinking, okay, I put out X amount of resumes. You probably had this in your mind. You wanted it to stop. You were at your wit's end. You'd come to a point, whether it's because you chose to, even if you didn't, you knew it was the right thing. You know things have to end at some point. We do it throughout our whole lives. You change jobs, you move, you change relationships. It doesn't always feel great, but it has to happen in order to grow and to, become the best self and things that are the most beneficial for you, even if at the time it doesn't seem like that. So I would just say that you're not feeling too concerned about it, in the sense that you've already been given offers, and this is, like I said, your recent past. So you've been doing your homework and your due diligence, and you know that this is time to make changes. And I think you can feel really good about that. Now, that's interesting that might have led to this, present feeling of like, oh, but what if this doesn't, and all the what ifs, right? The worries and the fears. Am I going to make it? Will it? It's common. It makes sense. I get it. But you don't want to hold on to that. So your clarification card is the 6 of Cups. Wow. Well, this is sentimentality. This is love. This is friendship. This is support from the universe, from friends. This is people coming back into your life to say, hey, remember how well you did this? Or, you know what? I believe in you. And it could be romantic. I think it's just this, could be spirit for all I know, just letting you know, hey, recognize what you've done in your life. Never doubt your capabilities, because I'm sure you've had times when you thought you would never get through certain challenges or blah, blah, blah. 6 is about, it's the 6th house, which is what Pisces is representing. It's the balance of work, play, things that we all have to do as adults, and sometimes it gets overwhelming. But you've got that support, you've got that trust, you've got your heart open. You maybe ask for help from friends, and maybe just ask for that ear that somebody can listen to, and they will. And that happened to me today. I have a friend that I've been, going to get tea on Sundays when we can, and we sit and we talk, and we just like, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. So do yourself a favor, and even if you don't have that, sit with yourself and say, this is what I choose to do. Write it out. Write out your feelings, and then burn it if it's things that aren't positive or something. There's so many ways for us to get through the times that seem, less than optimal or, making us the happiest. There's always answers. And the cups are, it's about love and caring, and that's how you are. Maybe you just need to go out and help someone else and just be like, I got to get my mind off myself. How can I help other people? And that instantly just changes everything. So that comes to mind too. But with retrogrades, and especially with the, the Venus retrograde, and certainly with Mars, I think there might have been, people and places and things coming back into your mind, very reminiscent. So for the future clarification card, we have, wow, the Five of Swords. Okay. No, I like this. I like it a lot. This is the beautiful, wealthy, I've got this, I've worked, I do my best. I'm starting to really see, like I said, the fruits of my labor after many years, or maybe not many, but what seemed like many years. It doesn't matter what age. It's the maturity there of knowing you've done what you needed to do to get things going, and you are successful. And then you've got people that will be like, let's see how I can tear that down a little bit. It's the air, it's the, the words, conversations, maybe gossipy things, or, maybe you're inside saying, oh, I don't know, but, what if so-and-so tries to take this away, or, maybe I shouldn't have said that to so-and-so. It's minor. It's the stuff that nobody needs, okay? And you realize that. You've already been through things like this. You're kind of keeping yourself, what do they say when you've got the ammunition should you need it. But I don't even think this is necessarily you guys. I think you've been around a lot of this. I know I have. Just that agitation, which I think the Mars retrograde energy can definitely create. And then the sensitivity with it being in Cancer as well. I mean, Cancer's not comfortable with Mars in their sign. They stand up for themselves and all that. I get that. But they're not generally, the watery energies are not like wanting to have major confrontation, okay? So yeah, just taking this in stride, standing strong, not worrying about, unfortunately, the people that are just, maybe a little bit jealous, or they're just, they're not happy for your happiness. You be happy for your happiness, and congratulate other people that are doing well. And not just that karmically is a beautiful thing. So I like that. I feel some optimism from this, absolutely. And so we're going to do, like I said, I'm going to pick a card for every single astrological sign, just the one. And I'll express to you what I think it is in a word or two, what, the main purpose and meaning of it. And you most likely know if you've ever been watching readers. But once again, thank you for your time. And stick around. We've got a couple more, messages from the Oracle and the beautiful spirit animal deck that I absolutely love, that I'll read a little something to you from. But this, once again, was the beautiful Hush Tarot deck. And who is this by? This is by Jeremy Hush. That's his last name. I like it a lot. It's really grown on me, but it's, like I said, the colors they're kind of fall, wintry, autumny type colors. But so I'm going to lay out, and there'll be 12, of course. So I guess I'll do, these have also been shuffled, but let me just do a little bit more. Well, I think I'll just simplify it as much as I can. So I'm going to do Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. And then when we're done with those, I'll lay out 6 more, because this table's a little small. But, it works. So first of all, Aries, your energy for the week of February 3rd through the 9th. Judgment. Whoa, okay. That's a karmic card, or it can be. But I love it. It's a major arcana. So we've got Venus going into your sign, as I mentioned, and there's so much more happening for you this year. But the Venus in your sign is absolutely beautiful. And I think it's going to make you feel a little lighter and a little happier than you have, because there's been some stuff going on. And, we had the North Node in your sign, which I think is great. It's very transformational, but a lot of transformations don't always come in the way that we would necessarily have planned, but it's always, like I said, for our highest good. This is a judgment that you've already made, that's been made for you by the universe, and you're coming to accept it and, accept the grace in it. And I think a lot of you are going to be really excited, but it may have been a long time coming, like a choice that you needed to make or a decision you needed to make. You can let me know what that means specifically. So that'll be for this week. Something important, a choice or judgment will be made, and certainly by that full moon next Wednesday. All right, Taurus, we have the Six of Wands. Victorious energy. I mean, the wands are the fire, and there's once again a reference to Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. That's that motivational, spiritual kind of thing. This is being recognized. This is getting accolades, for something you're doing, getting rewarded, getting a promotion. This is the town and the community saying, yes, we're happy for you. We sponsor you, and maybe a channel or having more subscribers and so on and so forth. So, I like that a lot for you. Now, I didn't say it, but this makes perfect sense. On the 30th of January, Uranus, which has been in your sign, Taurus, for a long stay, and that's going to change too. I believe in January or July. We're in January, for heaven's sakes. We're in February. July of this year. And then it'll dip back into your sign, and then it's going to go into Gemini for what? 14 years or more? I'm not even sure. It's a long stay, but it went direct yesterday. So, of course, your energy is notably being felt. And it feels great because it was, Uranus is about surprises and unpredictability a lot of times. And that's great, but sometimes the surprises aren't so great. This is a great surprise, and it's one that you deserve, but it's going to come quickly. And I'm really loving the fact that it happened in such a way, from Uranus going direct like that. Ooh, maybe you already know what's happened. Once again, let me know. I'm extremely interested in everybody's life, pretty much. And so then we go on to Gemini, and you have the Four of Pentacles, Gemini. Now, Jupiter, like I said, is in your sign. So this is a sign and an indication that you're kind of keeping things close to the chin, if you will. Or, you're being a little bit frugal. You're being a little bit possessive of maybe your money, or you have under your heart, and things that matter to you. I mean, you don't want to just go crazy. You're a little gun shy. Maybe you were invested in things that didn't go so great with the retrograde of Jupiter. But with it going direct, I don't think you're going to have to concern yourself with this. And I'm not going to say, go willy-nilly and go gamble and all that. But I am going to say you're going to notice a definite change, I think. Should you put that out there as an intention and a manifestation in your finances in many areas. It expands. Jupiter's all about expansion and luck. And you're the favored one. It happens every 12 years in our sign. And then it goes into Cancer on June 9th. So, yes, prepare for perhaps not having to feel like you have to be so, strict. I like it a lot. Then we go into Cancer. So Cancer, we've got the Nine of Wands. Now the 9 represents the, completion. You're one wand away from the 10. You're still experiencing some challenges. You feel like you've got the weight of the world. Once again, Cancer, we've had Mars in retrograde in your sign, and that desire to want. The wands are about fiery, ambitious, spirited movement, and that hasn't been happening. But have no fear, because this is the month you're going to turn that corner. Okay, this couldn't be more perfect. And things will be changing. Okay, so I'm happy for that. I don't think I need to say more. Then we go into the sign of Leo, and you have the Queen of Cups. Well, there's Cancer, there's Pisces, that beautiful Pisces energy with tons of Pisces placements right now for all of us. There's a definite attraction with fire and water, and there happens to be a fair amount of that happening in the month of February as well, I might add, with this Aries energy, and then the full moon, as I mentioned, in Leo. Passion, 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 passion. Opening your heart, and expressing your feelings is not something you've ever really been shy about doing, Leo. I think you want to express your deepest feelings, and I think it has to do with love in some capacity. And it could definitely be for yourself, no question about it, but I like it a lot. Okay, now the Cancer, Piscean, and Scorpios, they're very, very giving and caring and compassionate, and that's very attractive to you. So then we have Virgo. Well, we have the South Node in your sign now for the next 18 months. You have, son of a gun, you got the Emperor. That's Aries. Woo, something about the, well, in the South Node, it's about releasing things, right? And that's going to happen. You're going to notice it, and you probably already started, and it can be something as simple as getting rid of all the stuff in your house that's just been there, and it's taking up space and energy. I think it's far more. It's people, it's circumstances. You're going to have this courage that's going to come through with the last Aries eclipse, which you're going to start feeling the energy from definitely by the end of this month. But it's also this Venus energy, okay? And Venus is a miraculous sign of things. It's beautiful things. It's feeling really, really good, feeling like you're ready to take things on. There's that, once again, the slowdown with Mars, which is the ruling planet of Aries. And so be prepared. The momentum is going to change, and you're going to be in the driver's seat. And you love that, Virgo. You're very good at that. You're very good at that. You can handle anything. People come to you all the time for stuff. So those are the first 6 signs. And then we'll go from there to, right after that, we have, make sure these are upright in the right position. We've got a Libra. No, that'll be first, okay. Don't mind me. Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and that is my interpretation with my trumpet. I hope you like it. I'll be here all week. So what did I say? Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Okay, so what do we got here? For Libra, for this week, the 3rd through the 9th, we have the Fool. Oh, Libra. Trusting, that's that energy that all is well. When we really believe that, and we know we've seen other circumstances, we're done with that. There's a lot of positive energy for you, beautiful Libras. Now, with Aries going into Venus going into Aries, forgive me as I stumble over my words again. When Venus is in Aries, it affects you because you're the polar opposition. So there's always that energy and that magnetism happening. And that is your 7th house of relationships, right? That's pretty beautiful. You have faith in love. You've never given up on love. Love means everything to you, Libras. I love all sorts of different types of love, even if it isn't relationship-wise. I have a lot of relationships, though, so I don't even know why I'm saying that. It doesn't have to mean romance in the sense of a partner or marriage or anything like that. It's self-love. It's just love of life, love of a project, love of your creative juices coming through. You have faith in the process. You're not going to give up on that. You've got friends that are, there, and they're going to be faithful and loyal to you. And you're starting a new, I don't know, something's up with you, Libra. It's a lot of change and transformation. Wait and see, okay? So then we have Scorpio. And Scorpio, for this week, you have, I want to say the page. Yeah, this is the Page of Wands. Because the Knights are on a horse, always. But the Page of Wands is pretty exciting. there's something really exciting happening. It's that fiery energy. Now, Mars is your ruling planet, Scorpio. So once again, I think things have felt a little lethargic for you. I don't think you mind kind of really just being with yourself. And I know a lot of Scorpios who love that, and they can, once again, they're known for being the transformational sign of the zodiac. But you go deep and you sit with yourself and you figure things out. And then once you come up and you rise from the ashes, as it were, like the phoenix, that's what you're known for. You have new ideas, you have new inspiration, and you're feeling that fiery kind of passionate sense that, yeah, there's new things coming down the pike for sure. Could be involving an Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. Stay tuned, okay? You've got messages coming. It's the beginning though. It's the beginning of it. I love it. Then Sagittarius. Ooh, the devil. Well, this is Capricorn energy. Or maybe there's some fearful thing that's been going on in your mind, or I don't know. It's a gamut of possibilities as a general reading. But it's there to remind you that fear never really helps anybody, and to recognize that we don't always know. Nobody really does, even the most psychic of us. I get premonitions, things have come true, but on the whole, I don't know one moment from the next what really will happen. And I do have fear sometimes, and I recognize it, and I say, just stop. Because it's so uncomfortable, number one. And Sagittarius, you're ruled by Jupiter. So with this Jupiter motion going direct, a lot of these fears are going to kind of just dissipate, because that is your ruling planet. And when it's going direct in any sign, it's very optimal for you. Not to mention that Pisces is the other sign that is ruled by Jupiter. So there's so much predominance of Pisces that it's going to melt away a lot of this, okay? Don't let that hang on to you in any way. Or take on the energies of the Capricorn, which is success motivated, and don't let yourself get tied down or bondage or anything with relationships that just don't work. The toxicity isn't what you need. I'm feeling right now that maybe you're just around people that you need to remove yourself from. Okay, keep that in mind. Then we have Capricorn. Oh, the Hanged Man. Well, that's Pisces energy. I think you're really feeling it, Capricorn. I really do. And I know all of us will. I think you're seeing things in a different perspective. Capricorns are earth signs, and you are a cardinal sign. So you like to keep busy. You innovate. You're very innovative. You usher in the season of winter, because all cardinal signs represent a specific season. Heavy responsibility, and you're all for it. You're all about that. But I feel like there's a time that's come now with the Pluto changing out of your sign, where you're just seeing things, I would say, even more spiritually. Don't be surprised if that comes through in the next 18 months with this Piscean energy. It's going to affect us all. We're going to have different changes of our ideals and our beliefs in religion and spirituality and mystical aspects of life. You might have an awakening. I don't know, but it's a pleasant, beautiful feeling. You're going to allow it. And I like it a lot. It's very conducive for the times. And then for Aquarius, Aquarius, happy birthday, all Aquarians. You have basically you, the King of Swords. I mean, it doesn't mean a female or male, but the swords are you. It's your energy. It's the air energy. It's Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, but it's a masculine known energy as far as the duality of, masculine and feminine. And so whether you're a female or a male, the masculine would be more of the mind, and that's definitely an Aquarius. I mean, you are just so into, focusing and studying and learning and sharing, and just very strong, very rebellious energy of like, I'm going to get this message across. If it's the last thing I do, people need to hear, people need to be helped. We need to help. We need to be doing this in a group, and it's big, it's all about the collective. And so there you are in your energy this week. I love it. Always a good sign. And then finishing with Pisces. Justice. Wow. you know, yeah, because I was going to say it would either be in that, or I haven't pulled this deck out for a while, or it would say, you know, the Queen, but this shows the crown, and no, justice. Pure unadulterated justice, my dear. And this represents Libra because you've got the scales. The scales of justice are finally in your favor. And I say that because I think it's been a little rough for Pisceans with Saturn in your sign. It will remain there, actually. It's going to leave for a little bit and go into Aries, and it comes back into your sign. And then it goes away for a long time. In 2026. But wow, that's got to feel good. You know, justice does prevail. I'm probably going to hear about this, but I really fully believe that, and so do you. And you were open to it. You were patient about it. You do represent this hanged man, you know, just the tree of knowledge hanging there and saying it's all going to work out exactly as it needs to. You've always been a believer in that type of thing, Piscean. You're sharing that energy with everybody and allowing people to understand that in their own time. But the justice is there for you. So I love that a lot, everybody. I'm going to finish, like I said, with a animal oracle message because it's a gorgeous deck. So let me do that now. Put this away before I forget because there's all sorts of decks and things around. And this is, like I said, it is actually called the animal medicine cards. And they're beautiful and they're big, and the messages on them are extremely, I think, very touching and very very important for all of us to listen to and to kind of just sit with. So I'll just do a little shuffle here, and yeah, I hope you're having, I hope you have an amazing week, because no matter what you're seeing and whether you resonate now or not, it's not important. What's important is what you bring to the week. And what you take from here, you know, I always learn from everyone and everything. The pigeon. I think I just pulled this. How funny. For the last reading. I'm not 100% sure in February, but let me read to you what it says. But it's gorgeous. Because, and I'll explain. It's under P, of course, and that's D, so, nope, it wasn't the last one, but here it is. Pigeon. The words associated are song, peace, and home. Now, that's interesting because with the energy predominant, certainly the Mars energy retrograde in Cancer and then going direct and everything, it's all about the home. It's all about the people we love and we feel the most comfortable with. And, you know, and being in our home, certainly when it's rainy and stormy and you have that comfort feeling that you're with your animal, your pets, your plants, whatever it is, and you just feel at peace. Pigeon knows how to come home. Drawing pigeon indicates a time to deepen your peace with where you come from. This can be done in your heart, even if your mind cannot align. Pigeon is dove in gray city clothes, and like dove, brings peace, gentleness, and understanding, both in the beauty of Earth's nature and human cities. Even in a crowded train station or huddled under an awning outside of a deli to get out of the rain, it is possible to be a being of song, peace, and friendship. That is definitely, to me, a message for a collective, isn't it? And feeling that ability to be open and receptive to others different and you know, friendly and communicative, right? And at peace. I love it. I hope you've enjoyed the reading. I've certainly enjoyed being here with you, and I always will. So come on back. I'll be here next week. And like I said, please do check out your readings for February. They're all up now, and I would appreciate your support greatly. Until next week, take good care. Bye for now.